I'm back, took a couple days off. We had our daughter named Violet born, and holy man, it was the craziest experience I've ever had in my life. My wife did it completely naturally. We had a home birth. It was absolutely beautiful and life-changing. I'll put one little picture in here, but I don't really plan on having her in my videos, just out of respect for my family and stuff. But wow, what an experience. We had 2 midwives and a doula at home with us. My wife, no meds, no medications or anything, just sheer power. Oh my God, I have so much appreciation for what women can do. Like, this whole natural process of birth is unbelievable. So that's a long story, but today I am in the greenhouse and I'm just doing a bunch of stuff. I got a whole bunch of new seed going. I'm trying a new variety of pea seed, and that's going to be part of my new microgreens mix that we've got going on, and it's really starting to come together. The mix is still not perfect, but I've been trying a mix with shungiko, red cabbage. I'm trying, now that I have my, you would have saw this in the last video, I've got this different wand, and I think it's called the Wonder Waterer or something like that. It's really, really fine. And so that's allowed me to plant some microgreens at a really low density to get their true leaf state, which I want for things like red Russian and mustard and pak choi. So I'm still working on those. But our mix that has, it's going to have pea shoots in it, but it's going to be this different variety of pea called green pea, Swiss chard, red cabbage, red amaranth, and what else is in this? Shungiko, red cabbage, red amaranth, chard, and peas. Really, that's kind of what the main mix I'm looking at is, more or less. But I'm also really cranking out basil now. This is all basil up here, and I've put this down to a wider density, or a more sparse density, lower amount of seed to get them to a true leaf state. And the cool thing about having a wider density on microgreens, I'm discovering, is that you get a faster date to maturity. When they're too dense, they have to compete with each other, and that slows down their maturity. So when you go at a wider density, you get a faster yield. And I'm all about faster yields. And I'm hoping that I can get basil in less than 21 days at this 6-gram density. And my brassicas, this red cabbage is fantastic. I've been doing radish for a number of years, so this is nothing new. This is almost ready to harvest. That's a 10-day crop from seed to harvest. And so that's really what I'm doing today. We've had absolute torrential downpour all day, and it's prevented us from doing a lot of the things that we wanted to do on the farm. We were hoping to start building our new greenhouse at our flagship plot. So we've had to kind of reorientate the day to work with what we've got. And there's always lots of work in the nursery. We harvested a ton of pea shoots and sunflower shoots today. And I've got a bunch of more to plant. And the guys are in the greenhouse next door right now planting another row of tomatoes. So Toby is wiring up, putting up another support wire for tomatoes, and we have harvested this bed of arugula that was here, and we're just going to put tomatoes in its place. It didn't do that well, mainly because the tomatoes outgrew this arugula and shaded it out, so the arugula really slowed down. So we're just going to put tomatoes in here, and that's going to give us a total of 8 rows of tomatoes in this 23-foot wide polytunnel. So we've just put another one here on the south side, interplanted with the lettuce. And we're at the point now where the lettuce is pretty much tapped out. We've gotten 2 good harvests from it, and we're starting to pull it out because now we're at the point where the tomatoes are too big to, they're out competing the lettuce for light, and so the lettuce isn't really growing that much. But that's okay, because we are about a few days, maybe a week away from getting our first harvest of lettuce in our caterpillar tunnels here. And you'll notice we've moved all of our tomatoes that were in those totes. I talked about this a couple of vlogs ago. And we've kept them in here to cool them down so they don't grow so fast. We want to slow them down because we've got to build 2 more greenhouses to put those into. So that's what's going to happen at our flagship plot. And Mark is at that plot right now harvesting some more greens. We're getting our first harvest of tatsoi and perhaps red Russian kale. And so those are going to supplement our salad mix this week and early next week. So we're going to we might be without lettuce for the early part of next week, but we should have at least 1 harvest of one of these beds by the end of next week. And if the weather turns around, like it's been pouring rain today, just a little bit of a break right now, but if we get some sunny days, at least 2 or 3 sunny days in the next week, we should be really on target, which would be perfect. And it's sort of serendipitous how that goes. Like you panic because you run at one succession, but then the weather turns around and you get another unexpected harvest from your next succession. And these are sort of the risks and rewards we take as farmers. But I want to show you guys too that we are now about a week away from our first radish harvest. So right here we've got, and I mentioned this in a few vlogs ago as well, talking about how, actually this was in the clickbait video I think, talking about speculating on when things are ready. And when they have 2 true leaves grown, they really start flying. And that's what I love about these caterpillar tunnels, because this allows us to have a lot more regularity in our crop successions, and it means that our days to maturities don't fluctuate as much. So, you know, one of the hardest things as farmers for us in succession planting is the fact that if you're in the northern or far southern hemisphere, your day length changes considerably throughout the year. And it's hard to get predictions on your crop. So your dates to maturity on your seed pack will say something like radishes here. These are French breakfast radishes right in front of me. They'll say 28 days, but in April, they might be 45 days, and in October they might be 50 days. So it changes. And the great thing about using a greenhouse is it gets you closer to that average day to maturity. So these I'm expecting are going to be a 30-day crop. So that's pretty good. That's only 2 days over standard day to maturity. And that's what these greenhouses do, and that's why they're so important. It's so important to use season extension if you want to be a commercial farm that's delivering consistent product every week or sometimes multiple times a week. So going into these radishes here, so when we've got when we've got nice big true leaves like this, we can come in here, and I'll just pull one out to show you. Once you start getting a bulb like that, so that's really small, but these will grow really fast from here on. They're gonna be, I'm thinking these are gonna be mature by Tuesday. And as I'm recording this, it's Thursday. This video will come out on a Friday, but it's Thursday today. So we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 or 5 more days, and these will be good to go. And French breakfast radish is a fantastic fast-growing radish. It's about 5 days faster than this one. This is an Easter egg radish. This is my most popular radish actually, and it's my favorite in the summer because it doesn't get woody as quickly as French breakfast does. So this one is a little bit behind, but you can still see some bulbing here. So we're coming along, and but this one I'm thinking is going to be probably 2 weeks at the most away, maybe 10 days. Okay, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I'm really just trying to spend a lot of time with my family and early bonding with our daughter, and that's really important to us. So I'm going to just do a couple more things on the farm, and that's the day, but I'll talk to you guys soon.